Good day again to all of the professors. I am LATI EZEKIEL to present to you our revisions for the PLP information system. We presented to the professors before on how the system works and communicates with the user. And now we will show you the revisions requested for our system. For now, we would like to present first the minor revision and head to major revisions after. Now let me present to you the minor revision. The minor revisions that one of our professors wanted is to navigate the user from stop to the map by implementing a shortcut feature. We successfully implemented it, and to have a user do this feature, they must go first to one of the professors, and let's go there. From stops and one of the professors. And as you can see here from below, you can see a word that is blue and underlined. It indicates that a user can click here to navigate from stops to a desired location. Now let's click for the location. And as you can see here, it navigated to the map and successfully zoomed in, or like using the search feature. When choosing a location, it also zooms in. It functions the same as the search function. And as you press back, you will navigate back to the stop. And if you want to go to another person and see where they are located, like say Professor Raimundo Bawi, the NSTP ROTC office, it will successfully change the map floor and head to the NSTP or ROTC office. And that's all from the minor. Now let's head into the major revisions. For the major revisions, 3, 2, 1. In the major revision, there was a big issue in our system, and that is how we should manage the database. This is where the backend system is applied. So we've managed to complete our backend system complete with the account system. So let's try opening our system first. There we go. And this is the backend, which uses the web app. And this is the, as you can see here, is the login interface. And this is where we should log in our account. And let's try first logging in our account. Complete with a password. It will log into the main account, to the main interface. Now, to log out, just press the logout button in the upper right. It will prompt, and it will go back to the login form. And if you happen to navigate to, let's say, the home page of the, this is the home page, it will directly go back to the login, since it's logged out. Now let's try inputting a unregistered account. Some jumbled password. It will just say there's an invalid email or password. Now let's log in our account again. After logging in, it will head to the home page of the system, and this is the general design of the home page. There are choices to choose where to go, from announcements to about, and this is the header that you will see also in other pages. There's the name of the backend system, our username, the date and time, the logout, and a sidebar. the sidebar will just show the same choices as you can see below the home. Now let's try to navigate to the announcements. Let's click from here and it will show a loading screen, and there we go. This is the general design of the database to where we can navigate and manage our database and to apply the code. This is the table and the columns, the title, ID, date, time, controls, and the search bar in the middle. The user is allowed to search, depends on the column name. Like he wants to search in the title, the PLP faculty, or you would like to search in the date or from what time specifically. And we can also click one of the table headers to sort the table from ascending or descending, depends also on the column. Now let's try applying the code. Let's first by inserting a new announcement. And you can see here the ID is also automatically generating now from the latest number we could use so that we won't mess up the database. Now let's try putting our title. That's a testing announcement title. And this is where the content is where to put it. A test for the announcement. Now keep in mind this in the content it will always show this. So if you want to have a good design for the content, you can also apply HTML codes inside the content. I will explain that later. For now, let's try inserting the announcement. There we go. It is now successfully inserted. Now let's try if the announcements has been updated in the application. That's it. So the announcement. There. Has been updated to the latest. Now let's try playing it. And this shows the same content that we input in the content. Now let's try editing the announcement data. And by doing that, let's head first to what we added, the testing announcement title, and press edit. And there you can see the same inputs that we used in the ad. And let's try changing this to just announcement first. And let's update that. Okay, it is now successfully updated. Now let's show the app changes. Announcement title. There, it is changed. Now about using the HTML codes, let's try editing one of the data. And there you can see below, it uses the HTML codes as the applications allows HTML codes to compile. And there is no worries about using HTML codes to load, as the data loads like using a simple static website that uses a small amount of data. Now let's try deleting the testing. By deleting it, it's very simple. Let's just press delete, and there's a confirmation if you want to delete it or not. And this is the ID, as you can see here below. That's the announcement title, and this is the ID 9. Are you sure you want to delete AID9. If you just press cancel, it will just head back. And if we delete it, the data has been deleted permanently. Now let's see if there's any changes in the application. There, it is now done, and that's from using the application. Now let's try opening the information tab. Let's go there now by pressing the side navigation and head on to information. And again, it has a similar design. The only difference is the name of the columns, title, info ID, category, and the difference also is that you can use two tables in here to navigate. This is the information table, and the other one is the category table. And the purpose of the category is to add more categories in the information. To change that, let's just press the selector next to the search bar. You can see here, this is the information, and if we press categories, this is the category table. And if we want to go back to information, just press the selector again. Now let's try creating a information. This is the form, info ID, automatically generated again. The name of the title, let's say is a working title, and the category, which is dynamically generated from the category table. Let's try events, and the content, and let's add the data. And this is the working title and the category. Now let's see if there's any changes in the application. Go to the menu, information, and from the all, this is the working title and the content. And if we check the category from events, this is the working title. Now how about we change its category and the title? Let's open the backend again and press edit. Let's change the events from bachelor's, and this is a bachelor title. It's updated now. And see if there's any changes in the application again. Information, bachelor title, and bachelor's. And if we check events, there's nothing. And now let's try deleting it. And check for the changes, and although you can see there still hasn't there any changes, let's go back and press information again, and now it's gone. Now let's head on to the category table. This is just for adding or removing any categories that is related in the information. So let's try inputting others as a category. And go back there. There is the category others. Now let's try adding a new information using others. Other working title, and let's try using others. There you can see it is dynamically implemented now. Others, and then let's add. And see if the application changes. Let's press back, and go to information. Is the other working title, and this is the others category. There. And let's save it again. Edit. Let's edit the category of the others. Edit. Check the changes in the application. And there's no longer others, and there's no longer the other information. Now let's head on to the locations. Same general design for the table, and the only difference is that if you want to search for the floors, you can use the floor selector above. If you want to check floor 4, and it will sort to all the fourth floors, and go back to all, and will display all floors. Now let's try adding a location or facility. Just pressing add, and this is the general form for the insert and edit for the map or facility. This map will help you navigate to which location do you want to implement the marker. Let's try first inputting our name for the facility. Try entrance. You see which floor you want, and if you choose 4th floor, it will change the map also. And this is the latitude and longitude. And by obtaining that, there are different ways by using Google Maps or other maps. But in this case, we would want to use this implementation of Mapbox. And upon clicking one, let's say that this is the entrance here, and let's click. It will receive the latitude and longitude of the end of the click map that is used in the map box. And now let's add data. It will take a while. And that's the new map. Let's find it. Or you can search it. Since it's very large for the amount of data. And then that's the entrance. Latitude and floor. Let's see if there's any changes in the application. And this is the entrance. Now let's try editing the entrance. So the name, say back entrance, and then let's click for the back, and then update again. And see the updates for our mobile application. Let's press back again, and the location, and this is the back entrance. Completely implemented application. Now let's try deleting the entrance. Let's just delete it. So has been deleted. And confirm. There's no longer the marker for the top entrance. So let's head to the stops. And again, this design, the only difference is that there's an image, so you can tell who is who. And you could also search by department, let's say TESDA, or let's say student welfare, student affairs. Yeah. And now let's try adding the new stuff. And adding new stuff is completely different. Let's head first by putting our name. Where should we go? Where should be our location is? Say classroom 716. And the department is BSIT. If we want to use more departments, just add or remove. If we want lesser departments, CCS. And let's choose an image. And by choosing that, just press this and navigate to an image and add data. And this will take for a few seconds, and there, that's been successfully added. And let's try for that. There, the title, Professor EZEKIEL, LATI, creation, this is the departments, and this is our photo. And now let's try editing it. And upon editing, you can also allow not choosing a image so that you won't ever change the image. Let's just change the title from Professor to Mr. and change our location from Cisco Laboratory and update. And now let's check for the data that is implemented into the mobile. Some stops. There we go. Mr. EZEKIEL LATI. The name, the department, and let's click the location. And everything works. Now let's try deleting it. It will also completely remove the image from the Firebase storage. And check again with the database changes. Okay. Now let's try navigating to guides. Again, the general design, and let's try inserting a new guide. Guide to flag ceremony, and let's enter the steps. Is indicating that we need to enter step 1. If we add that, enter step 2, which means there's 2 steps. And if you remove, there's 1 step again. You can freely add or remove this. Now let's try adding the steps. Say, sign up with your colleagues. And prepare your voice to sing the national anthem. And let's add that. There it is, the updated application. And let's try if there's any changes in the application. There's the guides, and there's the guide to plug ceremony. Let's click that. The first step and the second step. Now let's try editing this by adding more steps. Let's go again to the plug ceremony and press edit and add. Finish songs. There, let's update that. The update shows that there are now 3 steps. And let's try seeing that in the mobile application. The application, guides, guide to ceremony, and there's step 3. Now let's try deleting the guides and see if there's any changes. Let's delete that. Delete. And now let's confirm that in the mobile application. Press guides. There we go. It's now permanently deleted. Now let's try going to about. And in about, the only difference is that there is no table. Since there's only one data in here, and you cannot add or delete this. The only thing you can do now is to edit this. And let's say we want to change this history from PLP history only, and by updating that, it changes the title of PLP history, and let's confirm that in the application as about. And there, the PLP history changes is gone from to PLP history. Now let's try changing that again. Let's say we want to change that to PLP only. Update. And then confirming the application PLP. And now let's turn that back again. To history. And that's all it is from the code. And now we will go to the account system of the application. To start, let's try it first by logging out, since we cannot access this section since we need the account for the account database to open. Now let's log out. Let's head home first and log out. And let's open the admin, the dedicated email for the system, the administrator, the admin, PKMIS at gmail.com. Enter the password. There, you can see here that there's the accounts. It is hidden for the other accounts if there's ever an account that is not a admin or a manager. I will explain that later. So now let's go to the accounts. And you can see here all of the accounts that are registered, the name, last name, and the role. The difference is that the admin, you cannot access the admin account since it isn't allowed to change, but the admin is allowed to change the email passwords of each account is registered, and the admin and the manager can also create new accounts for whoever's managing this. You are not allowed to edit or delete the email, since this is the limitations of the Firebase authentication system or API. So you can only allow to add or insert, but they are allowed to send requests for any changes for the password, and I'll explain that too later. For now, let's try adding a new account. Let's say we want to register LATI, and there's the manager, all employees. If we choose employee, they are not allowed to access the account system. We choose manager, they are allowed to access the account database. Manager, password, 346, 346, and let's add that. There is the account. Let's try logging in from that account on the underscore and the password. There we go. And since he is a manager, he can also access the accounts. Now let's try changing one of the passwords of the registered accounts. Go back to the admin and the password, and go back to accounts. And by changing that, the employees or manager are allowed to take requests from the manager or the admin to request a password request to change their password. And let's try changing one of our password here by sending a request for email gl.lati@gmail.com. Send. It says here that email has been sent. We send, and that's it. It is successfully sent. There is the PLP analyst admin, and if we click that, it is asking us if we want to reset the password, and by resetting that, it is requesting us to click by this link, and then you can change your password here. Say we want to change our password in this. And now let's try using that email again. Administrator. There, it has been successfully logged in. Now, if ever they want to delete the accounts, it is up for the admin to delete it. It is by accessing only the console, since this for now the limitations of the Firebase authentication API, and it's only allowed to create and sign in an email. And that is all for the PLP backend system.